Do you have any other testimony that you have not already given that you want to tell me?
My testimony is relevant and truths versus his lie. And so with that being said, Judge, Denton County, do your thing.
I'm going to take that as you're finished with your testimony. Miss Jordan, do you want to cross-examine the witness? Will be admitted into evidence. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I understand. My objection is that you can do it, but it does not have a proper date on here. I received this letter, and it didn't have all these abstracts to it. It just had this one letter.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'll go into that. Can you please tell me at what intersection or what street that you, before you turned on your dash cam, what intersection or what street did you start following me?
Okay, so we're on the record for August 7th, 2025, and we have two cases on the docket today, one defendant, but two cases. Ms. Mason, you're going to have to turn on your audio if you would, please. And these are cause numbers LBZ 588-056-1250 and LBZ 588-056-1359, both style of the state of Texas versus Barbara Faye Mason. Ms. Mason, are you able to hear?
She says she can't hear you.
Okay, well, her internet's not. Ms. Mason, you're going to have to turn on your audio and yeah. Okay. Well, Ms. Mason, the problem is we can't do virtual if your technology doesn't work. And so the request to do this by, yep. Okay. We're Ms. Mason, unless you can get your audio to work, we're going to have to reset your case and you're going to have to appear in person. All right. Would you send her? I don't know. It's not me.
Looks like the connection problems weren't on anyone else's end after all.
Well, Ms. Jordan, my audio is working. My video is working. You're going to need to send her a message saying that unless she can get her audio to work, we won't be able to do this by Zoom, and she will have to appear in person. Well, I'm not sure what to tell you, Ms. Mason, but yeah, ours is working on this side. Ms. Jordan, are you able to hear me?
Every word.
And Officer Edge, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Thank you. Ms. Mason, while the other people on the Zoom call are able to hear me, but if you can't communicate it, okay.
You may be trying to log in on her phone.
Your Honor, we're going to have an exhibit in this case. While she's logging in, can I bring that down to have that emailed to her?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
She's going to switch over to her phone and try joining that way. Ironically, that's when the hearing really starts getting entertaining.
Ms. Mason, it sounds like, or it looks like you're having internet issues. And if we can't hear you, whether it is on one device or another, if we can't hear you, then this can't proceed. And we'll have to set this case for an in-person trial. And I understand that you're telling me that it's our side, but both the parties, the state and their witness are able to hear me.
Sir, can you hear me?
I can.
I find it very strange that I have not had any problems at all until you came on, and now all of a sudden my audio was messed up. But I logged on, and now everything is working fine. That's I guess that's technology for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready.
Well, I don't know what your
I'm having to use two phones. My tablet was working fine. I had just told the what is the deputy before he was explaining to me. He said, make sure your internet and all that was working. I have not had any problem with my internet until you popped up. I just find that weird.
well,
And I guess
I'm not
that's
sure
just
if you're yeah.
it's a technical thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what my addition to this call caused or created, but I am an essential part of this process, and so. Ms. Mason, have you received a copy of the complaint? That's the written charging instrument. Have you received a copy of the complaint in this case?
I just received it in email today. Let me stop one of these. Hold on.
All right. And so at the appropriate time, I'm going to ask the prosecutor to read the complaint, and then I will ask you how you want to respond to the charge. In this case, there are two cases. There is a failed to signal charge and there's a failed to display charge. And so I will ask you, just, pardon me?
I only received the driver's license, the one for the driver's license. I didn't receive the complaint for the illegal turn.
All right, well, we'll send that to you.
Okay.
So, Ms. George, Ms. Mason, you are not represented by a lawyer today, correct?
No, I have no money. I don't have money for a lawyer.
Well, the court is not allowed to assist you in the presentation of your case. I can't tell you what questions to ask. I can't tell you if or whether you should testify yourself. I'm just not allowed to help you in the presentation. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm not a seasoned police officer or prosecution. I'm only a person, that does right by the law. So I can only do my best.
Well, the reason I tell you this is that I just want you to understand I'm certainly not going to help the state, but I also can't help you in the presentation of your case. Okay.
Trust me, I know Denton County well. I know you can't help me. I know you can't. And I know that I'm doing this slow.
Calling her slow almost feels too generous. She takes forever to get through even the simplest parts of the hearing.
All right. And so at the appropriate time, I'm going to ask the prosecutor to read the complaint. And you have the right to call witnesses on your behalf. You have the right to testify on your behalf, but you have no obligation to put on any sort of case whatsoever. Do you understand that?
What do you mean by put on case? I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. What I mean by that is you have the right to testify and tell me what you want me to know. Tell me what to offer evidence on your behalf, but you're not obligated or required to do that. that the state has the burden of proof in this case against you, and they always have the burden of proof. And so you're not obligated or required to say anything. You have the right to say and to testify on your behalf, but you're not required to do that. That's my point in explaining this to you. Okay?
Okay. And let me ask you some. I want to go back to the first time, and when I had my first court, when I asked for the dash cam video and his body cam video, because those actually prove my point. And I was told by the lady prosecution that I didn't get to get that. I had to bypass all that because I missed it. So therefore,
okay, when we send out a notice for court, we send it out with a lot of lead time to tell the person, if you're going to request discovery in the case, that we have to reduce that request to writing. You have to serve it on the other party, that in this case would be the prosecution, and it has to be done at least 7 days before the hearing. And if you didn't do that, then you waived that right to request discovery. Now, she has an obligation to provide any exculpatory evidence, make you aware of that. But if you don't make a timely request, then you lose that right to file that, or you lose the right to have that discovery prior to the day of trial.
So my question is, you're basically telling me that because that was missed, I don't get to get the proof that I need. What I'm getting ready to tell you what he said and did, and it's all on his dash cam and his body cam of the interaction that we had. So I'm just making sure, and I'm sorry, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a seasoned prosecutor or defense attorney, so I have to know this.
Well,
if you don't mind.
What I'm telling you is that had you brought this issue up, so I'm responding to you. Had you filed your motion for your request for an inspection of the video prior to the day of trial, you would have been able to get that information before the day of trial. Okay.
So that's a no, right? So that's a no. I won't be able to.
If the prosecutor presents it, you have the right to use that and to point out if there are any inconsistencies. You have the right to use that as part of your case.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. So you're basically saying that the complaint that I got, because I missed requesting that. So the only thing that we're going to go by is what he's saying. What's on that document? What's on the ticket?
That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not even close to what the judge actually said. Because you didn't complete the required discovery process correctly, you don't get extra time to review the evidence now.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the state has the burden of proof in this case, and they will present their side of the case. When they rest, you have the right to present your side of the case.
Okay.
And you can tell me what happened. You can present evidence. You can call a witness if you want to, and whatever evidence is admitted, the court will consider that and review that and use that to make a determination if the state has met its burden of proof in this case. Okay, that's how this process works. And so I'm not saying you can't present your side of the case. I'm saying that the opportunity to review the dash camera video and the body camera video prior to the day of trial was waived because you didn't follow the instructions we gave you a month and a half before you're supposed to have a hearing.
I didn't follow the instructions. Hold on. I didn't follow.
No, ma'am. No, we're not going to continue to do this. There's been a ruling on it. And when a judge makes a ruling, if you disagree with it, you can appeal it to a higher court. That's how the process works. And so you don't.
Court? Are you
Pardon
saying
me?
a Texas court? Republican Texas? Come on, Judge. Okay, let's go ahead.
Ms. Mason, those are. We're not going to do this. I'm not going to have you make sidebar comments throughout this trial. We're not going to do that. And I'm gonna ask that you use this or go through this process orderly. I will give you an opportunity to present your side of the case, but I'm not going to have you make sidebar comments. Please. Now, Ms. Jordan, would you please read the complaint part? I'm sorry, let me back up for a moment. Do you have any pretrial motions that you want to present at this time?
We do, Your Honor. It's the state's understanding that Miss Mason appeared for trial previously, and when she appeared in person for trial, the case was reset, and she asked that the next setting be on Zoom. And so we would like to put on the record that the state has no objection to proceeding with this trial on Zoom today, and make sure that all parties are in agreement of Miss Mason's request.
Well, if she requested it and you agreed to it, I think
Yes, sir. I
we're
believe there's some law that indicates that there has to be an agreement on the record for Zoom, and so I just want to make sure we have everything perfect.
all right. Miss Mason, you did request a trial by Zoom, correct?
Well, that was
Virtual
after
trial.
you gave me that option. You gave me the option when we reset the court.
Yes, ma'am. And so you elected this option, correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Our second request is we're asking that the court takes judicial notice of the fact that Miss Mason did not request discovery either directly through a motion with the court or through a request directed directly to the state. We would ask that judicial notice be taken of that fact.
Granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further pretrial motions for the state.
Ms. Mason, do you have any pretrial motions? These are motions prior to the beginning of the presentation of the evidence. Do you have any pretrial motions you want to make at this time?
Well, as I stated, I'm not a seasoned prosecutor, but I did when I did find out, read the paper. This was not stated to me while I was in court. It was written on your paper that I had to read. My understanding was that the court was being reset. And at that time, I could ask for it then. That was when I was told by the prosecutor that I missed that time. Okay? So that was my pre-trial. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to, see the dash cam and the his body cam, because that was my truth. That I was profiled, not only profiled, but he stalked me.
Yes, ma'am. Well, what are you asking for at this time?
Well, you stated to me before that I couldn't ask for that anymore. So I'm basically just blindly trying to state my truths and just tell the truth.
Yes, ma'am. You'll have an opportunity to do that in just a little bit. When the state, because I said earlier, because the state has the burden of proof in this case, she's obligated to present her side of the case first. Then you have the right to respond. You have no obligation to respond, but you have the right to respond. And at that point in time, you can cross-examine any witness. You can present whatever evidence you might have in your case. Okay?
Okay.
Ms. Jordan, would you do you want to make an opening statement?
Your Honor, the state waives opening statement, but we would like to present or ask the court to admit into the record State's Exhibit number 1, which has been labeled State's Exhibit 1A through State's Exhibit number 1G as a self-proving document.
We're going to have to get Ms. Mason a copy of this, since we're doing this by Zoom, and this is confidential information, or at least private information. I don't want to present this on the screen. And so we're going to need to send this to her by email so that she understands and can respond to your offer of State's Exhibit number 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jordan, do you have an electronic copy of this?
I do not. I have to request a physical copy from DPS, and they send one through the mail. Your Honor, would you like me to continue on with testimony with the officer, and then I can revisit that once she's received it?
Let's go ahead and do that.
Yes, sir. The state has no opening statement.
All right. Ms. Mason, you'll be allowed, or you'll be permitted to make an opening statement once the state has finished its side of the case and rested. At that point in time, you can make an opening statement or you can proceed directly with your evidence in the case. Okay? Ms. Jordan, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Officer Edge to the stand.
We finally reached the officer's testimony, and we'll also be watching the body camera footage. If you've been waiting for things to get interesting, this is where it begins.
Were you on duty on November 21st of 2023, just before making contact with a Barbara Faye Mason?
I was. The initial contact was, I first observed the vehicle in about the 100 block of North I-35 southbound, and the significant traffic violations happened in 1300 block south 35 southbound. So I was in a marked patrol vehicle. I was getting onto 35 from the southbound frontage road just north of Main Street, and I observed a Nissan sedan make multiple lane changes from the number 4 lane, the far right lane, all the way over to the number 1 lane, the far left lane, without signaling. I did not take enforcement action at that time. As we continued down the highway, I observed the vehicle again change lanes from the far left lane all the way to the far right lane without signaling again, take the exit for corporate, make a lane change again without signaling, and the first time that the vehicle signaled was as it began its turn onto the clover leaf for corporate.
And Your Honor, at this time, it might be a good pause to go back because the body cam is labeled as State's Exhibit number 2. We did label the abstract driving record as State's Exhibit 1. Has she received that a potential exhibit yet?
Ms. Mason, have you received, if you check your email, have you received that
I'm
email
looking now.
from the court or State's Exhibit number 1?
Let's see. What is this? This is, hold on. I'm opening it up now. Okay, yes, I do see that.
Very good. All right. So Ms. Mason, do you have any objection to State's Exhibit number 1 being admitted into evidence?
Yes, I do. What is that? What is this Texas Department of Public Safety? What date is that dated?
Well, you have the document. If you'll look at the second to the last page, there's an affidavit there. It's dated May 15th, 2025.
May 15th, 2025.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean? This is when they sent this to me, May 25th, 2025? No, when was this, the actual letter? The Texas Department, I don't see the date up here.
Okay.
I don't see the date. I'm trying to see the date.
What is your objection?
My objection is this doesn't have an actual date on it. So when was this made? And that's my objection, because I have a reason why this is there and it probably don't have a date. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
all I'm asking is, does it have a date?
Yes, ma'am. I just explained that to you. If you'll look at the what appears to be State's Exhibit number 1F, that is the
1F?
Yeah, that is the certificate. And Ms. Jordan, it looks like you had G and F out of order.
No, I understand the exhibits. I'm looking at, you see where it up top where it says Texas Department of Public Safety? This letter, where's the date for this letter?
Yes, ma'am. And this is a document that is a multi-page document, ma'am. And so this exhibit this document, exhibit number 1, has a date of May 15, 2025. So
okay, so
I need to know what your objection to this document is.
My objection is this document is a fraud document. It doesn't have a date on Texas Department of Public Safety. Where's the date? That's my objection.
Yes, ma'am. And I just explained it to you that if you'll look at the document,
No, I'm talking about up top, the Texas Department of Public Safety document. That letter, where is the date? Because the other stuff could have been attached to this.
Okay. And what I'm telling you is this document has been admitted, is going to be admitted into evidence as a
Without a date.
if,
Without a date of this letter. I know what's going on, Judge. I
no,
got this letter.
Miss Mason, please don't do that. Please don't
Okay,
do that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Judge. Continue on. I'm sorry. I take it back.
I have been respectful to you.
Okay, I
And I have
understand,
not,
Judge.
and I understand that you disagree with me because of the color of my skin, but please don't do that.
And no, sir, it's not the color of your skin. It's Texas Department of Public Safety
Okay.
and manipulation. And so I do apologize for that. So that's why I'm asking you what day this is.
And
That
this,
letter on top, when the Texas Department of Public Safety send you a letter, it has a date of that letter. All letters sent to people have a date. And you're telling me that I got to go down and look at the exhibits
no,
to
ma'am.
get the date. When I got this letter from Texas Department of Public Safety, I can let you know that
Ma'am,
they did this 2 days before I got my license. I tried to get my license.
Miss Mason,
Mhm.
I'm trying to respond to you. Listen, Miss Mason, if you talk over me, this trial is not going to work. Okay, so
Okay.
please, I'm going to be respectful to you, but please do not talk over me. Now, if you'll look at the very top, it says certified abstract record. Do you see that? Page one.
I see that, but yes,
If
sir.
you
I
look, and
see
then it
that.
says law enforcement, and then it has 5/15/25. That refers to
Okay.
the date that this abstract was created. And then there is at the very back, there is an affidavit, and I'm going to find that this affidavit is a proper business records affidavit, and states exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I understand. My objection is that you can do it, but it does not have a proper date on here. I received this letter, and it didn't have all these abstracts to it. It just had this one letter.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'll go into that.
If the discovery request had been filed properly, none of this would have been a surprise. The prosecution's evidence included more than a single document all along.
Your Honor, can you see my screen?
I can.
May I continue?
You may.
Officer Edge, can you tell us
And
what
just for
this is?
purpose of the record, would you repeat what this is? States exhibit number 2. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Edge, is this a view from the squad car that you were driving on the date of the violation?
Yes, it is.
All right. And can you tell the court what we can see in this still shot?
So this is going to be from the inside of my windshield. This is the clover leaf from the southbound frontage road onto Corporate.
All right. And can we see the defendant's vehicle in this screen yet?
Yes, it'll be the vehicle directly in front of my car.
All right. And you indicated that this is a view from the clover. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And so from your testimony earlier, had you already seen her make some illegal lane changes without turning her blinker on at least 2 other times before reaching this clover leaf?
Yes.
Okay. And if you could please narrate as we are playing the video, and I could certainly pause it if I need to.
Okay. So we coming off the clover leaf onto Corporate, going towards southwest. Vehicle's going to turn right onto southwest. And you can see that I've activated my lights.
All right. And does it appear that she does have a working blinker at this time?
Yes, she did activate it. She's going to pull into the Texaco here on Southwest and pull up to a gas pump.
All right. And you have your lights activated so she knows that you are attempting to pull her over for a stop. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, when you put your lights on, or when you do certain things in your squad car, how far back does your camera go?
30 seconds.
Okay, and so from the footage that you were able to view in preparation for trial, could you see the footage that you testified to before, or was there footage of what you testified before in which she made several illegal lane changes?
There is not video.
Okay, and so your video starts when you activated your lights, which was after your viewing of those violations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And if we were to continue watching this video, would it show you approaching the vehicle's window?
Yes, it would.
Okay. And Your Honor, I am standing. Can you see the screen from your vantage point?
I can.
Thank you. May I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Officer Edge, what is this a view of?
So this is going to be the view from my body camera while the vehicle is still in motion.
All right. And was it also taken on the date of the violation, November 21st of 2023?
Yes, it was.
All right.
That's better. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing?
All right.
I'm Officer Edward Louisville Police Department. Reason for your stop. You didn't use your blinker one time on the highway. All those lane changes.
What do you mean all those lane changes? Sir, I only made one lane change. I had just got on the highway from Justin Road.
You moved all the way to the left lane from the on-ramp.
So, okay.
All right, so that's 3 lane changes right there.
Okay, so
All right.
I can dispute it, but
Okay.
So what you need to do?
I need your driver's license and your insurance.
Officer Edge, did you approach the vehicle that you have identified in the video?
Yes, I did.
All right. And when you first approached, did you explain the reason that you were making the stop?
Yes, I did.
All right. And were you referencing the failure to use her signal earlier before the footage started?
Yes.
Okay. And is that similar to the testimony that you provided to the court today as to what you witnessed?
It is.
Okay. And are you now asking her to produce her driver's license?
Yes.
Okay.
The first time that I observed you use your turn signal was when you made this turn onto the clover leaf right here.
Okay, and when did you
I'm
first?
not arguing with
I'm
you. I
asking
need
you a
your
question.
driver's
Though you
license
said
and
I
your
made
insurance.
you. Hold on, just a second. You said that I made 3. Hold on.
I need your driver's license.
Okay, I will give you that.
Okay.
Okay, you said that I made 3 illegal, 3 not turning on. Where did you first see me do that?
I need your driver's license, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm asking you a question, sir.
Okay.
You made an
No.
accusation. Yes,
Once
you
I
made.
get your driver's license, we can continue this discussion.
The reason I asked.
Are you refusing to provide your
No,
driver's license?
I'm asking you a question. Where did you first see me not turn on my blinker?
When you got on the highway.
When did I get on the highway? What exit?
I need your driver's license.
What exit, sir?
I need your driver's license.
Sir, I'm asking. So are you refusing to tell me? Are you refusing to tell me what exit that I got on the highway?
I need your driver's license
I will
and your
give you
insurance.
my license. I have no problem giving you my license. I'm asking you. Let me go live.
You can do whatever you want.
I know, but I'm
as long
asking,
as you give me your driver's license and your proof of insurance.
I'm asking you again. What exit did you see me take? Get on the highway. What exit? I'm going live. Louisville Police. He will not tell me.
10-4, we'll be at one of the pumps.
Louisville Police will not.
Ma'am,
tell
give me your
what
driver's
exit.
license and your insurance, please.
Okay. There's that.
Do you have a driver's license?
That's my.
All right, Officer Edge, she has handed you a plastic card, it looks like, from the video. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and was that card a driver's license?
It was not.
What did she present you?
It was a Texas ID card.
Okay. In this stop, did she ever present you with a valid Texas driver's license?
She did not.
Okay.
The law in Texas is straightforward. Anyone operating a vehicle on a public road must carry a valid driver's license and present it when requested by a peace officer. She managed to do neither.
My ID.
Do you have a driver's
That is
license?
my ID.
I can see it's an ID, ma'am. Do you have a driver's license?
I have an ID.
Okay, so
if I don't have an ID, driver's, you know I have an ID.
you can have both in Texas.
No, you cannot.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
you
can. Cannot.
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
you
You
cannot.
can. I need your.
As you were talking to the defendant in this case, did she go back to reference the other violation, which was the failing to signal?
No, I don't recall if she went back to that topic.
Okay.
Exit, sir. I have
Are you
that
done?
right. No, I have the right
I try to answer your question.
Okay,
and you cut me
answer the
off.
question because I have the right to ask you what exit did I get on?
I have been behind you since just north of Main Street.
Officer Edge, in the video, are you attempting to answer a question about when you first started to observe her?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're wrong. I know you're wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
How is
so
that?
what are you gonna do? Because that's a lie. Okay, so what are you gonna do now? Where was the first lane change?
When you entered the highway, you didn't make a single lane change as you went from the far right lane all the way to the left lane. And then as you worked your way over to the corporate exit again, you did not use a single
Sir,
blinker.
you're lying because I had to get off and get gas.
The first time
That's why I'm
Ma'am,
here.
stop yelling.
No, you don't know.
Okay.
Officer Edge, did you end up issuing 2 citations in this stop?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what were those citations for?
It's for failing to signal lane change as well as failing to display a driver's license.
All right. And were you able to tell in your investigation that she did in fact have a driver's license at the time that she was pulled over here on November 21st of 2023, meaning that she had a valid license in the system?
Yes, she had a valid Texas driver's license.
Okay. She just never presented the card to you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All
right, ma'am. What's a good telephone number for you for the court?
214-4.
Thank you. All right, you're going to receive 2 citations today. All right.
For what?
Well, give me a second. I'll explain it to you, okay? One's going to be for failing to signal lane change, and one's going to be failing to display your driver's license. All right?
I did not fail to display my driver's license.
Yes,
I gave
ma'am.
you my ID.
Yes, ma'am. Then that is not a driver's license.
Okay, well, give me back my ID.
So you do have a valid driver's license here in Texas.
No, I don't.
Yes, ma'am, you do.
No,
It's
I
good
don't.
until December of this year. Okay? According to the DMV, you have a valid driver's license.
No, I
It
gave
was
that.
suspended.
Yeah. Okay. Well, give it
Okay.
here. Give me my license. I dispute all of it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your kindness.
Just gonna need you to sign this yellow box right here. Your signature is not an admission of guilt. It's just a promise to contact the court.
Officer Edge, were you presented by the court clerk with a copy of State's Exhibit Number 1 regarding her abstract driving record from DPS?
Yes, I was.
Can I reference the first page with you? Can you please look at that document at this time?
Okay.
On the first page, under driver's license and ID information, does it indicate that she was issued driver's license number 09709583?
Yes, it does.
And can you tell me, does it also indicate that the date last issued was January 20th of 2018, according to this document, and date of expiration December 31st of 2023?
Yes, it does.
Does that match up with the investigation that you made roadside there on November 21st of 2023?
Yes, it matches the return on my computer.
Yes, sir. And that's how you were able to tell that she had a valid license according to the DMV. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And Officer Edge, since that portion is not on the video, can you please walk the court through one more time exactly what you saw the defendant do as far as how she moved her vehicle without using her signal light?
Yes, so the defendant's vehicle was in front of mine, not directly in front of mine, as we both got onto the highway on the southbound frontage road to I-35 southbound. From the on-ramp that is just north, or was just north of Main Street. The vehicle changed lanes from the far right lane all the way to the far left lane without signaling, traveled in that first lane, and then failed to signal as it moved back from the far left lane to the far right lane to take the Corporate Drive exit, and then failed to signal the lane change from the left lane to the right lane to make the turn onto the Cloverleaf for Corporate Drive to head westbound.
All right. And is it when she hit the cloverleaf that we can see for our own in our own eyes from the video?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any doubt in your mind that she failed to use her approved lighting signal lamps to make any of those changes in course?
There is no doubt.
Okay. All right. And Your Honor, the state passes the witness.
Ms. Mason, do you have questions for this witness?
Yes.
Oh, she definitely has questions. The problem is that almost every one of them makes her position even weaker.
You may proceed.
Yes. Can you please tell me at what intersection or what street that you, before you turned on your dash cam, what intersection or what street did you start following me?
That would have been on I-35 is when I started following your vehicle.
What intersection?
There are no intersections on I-35.
Okay, what exit? What was the exit coming up that was coming up that you started following me and witnessed me bobbing in and out of traffic?
Well, I first witnessed your vehicle fail to signal a lane change after it entered the highway, and then again as it exited the highway at Corporate Drive.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Where did you see me enter the highway? Where was I at when I entered the highway?
That would be the ramp that is just north of Main Street, or used to be just north of Main Street.
What ramp is that? What's the name of the, what street is that ramp?
Well, that will be the on-ramp that is used for 407 all the way to just before Main Street.
Okay, so where were you located? Where were you located when you started following me? Were you on Main Street? Were you on the exit at the light, turning right to get on? Because that's where I seen you. So that's why I'm asking.
Oh, I would have been on the frontage road.
Frontage road? Well, what frontage road?
The frontage road is the road that runs parallel to the main lanes of the highway.
In Louisville? Off of Main Street? You were on Main Street, right? You said
No.
you were coming off of Main Street?
No, I was on the southbound frontage road north of Main Street, headed southbound.
Is it headed southbound? And you were behind, and where was I coming from? I was on the highway. You were witness to me on the highway. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it right. We both entered the highway. You start following me while we were on the highway, and that's where you witnessed it. Or where did I start bobbing and weaving?
Your Honor,
was I on the highway?
Our objection is to a compound question and confusing for the record.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Ms. Mason, I understand you want to get multiple questions in there, and I get that. But if you could break up your questions to one at a time, so that the officer can answer the specific question. Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to, because we don't have, he only showed us parts of his dash cam.
You're going to have a chance Ms. Mason, just a moment. Ms. Mason, please. You're going to have a chance to make, to offer your testimony. But right now, it's just questions for this officer. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
My question is, were we on the service road or were we on the highway north of Main Street?
Your vehicle started on the frontage road north of Main Street and entered the highway from that on-ramp.
So you're saying that I was on the frontage road on the frontage road, Main Street frontage road. I came to the light. It's because there's a right there, right? The frontage road where Main Street and the light is.
We would
No,
object
ma'am,
to
you
that,
were
Your
you were
Honor,
not
as
at
to
Main
a
Street.
compound question.
Sustained.
The reason why I have to ask is because I'm having to ask these questions blindly because I cannot. It's being
Your Honor,
omitted.
if Miss Mason
Where
is
he
speaking to
started
me, we would ask
following
that
me
there not be
from.
All right.
sidebar comments.
Okay, both of
It's
you.
not a sidebar comment. I'm
Ms.
not a professional. I'm asking questions.
Questions are supposed to let the witness explain what happened. Instead, she's telling the officer what happened and arguing with every answer he gives. That's testimony, not cross-examination.
Ms. Mason,
I'm not a
please.
professional.
I understand you're not a professional, but the way this works, we're trying to record this so that there's a proper record, okay? And
Good. I'm recording too.
we can't talk, Ms. Mason, you can record all you want, but this is the official record, okay?
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
And so you can't, if you're talking over someone else or someone's talking over you, we can't get a good record. And so this is for your benefit more than anyone else's, okay? So
Okay.
you have the right to ask him questions. If you don't understand his question, please let him know that. If you object to his response, you can tell me what your objection is, but you can't talk over him. We can't do that in this process and have a good record in this case. Okay. So if you'll
Okay.
ask the next question.
Okay. I'm going to ask again. When you got behind me, where were you? Where was my car when you got behind me? Was I on the highway? Because you're saying the frontage road. Where did you get behind me on the frontage road or where? I'm trying to get that understanding. And
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm not understanding.
Miss Mason, you've asked 4 questions. I counted them. You asked 4 questions. So please, one at a time, okay?
Okay. When did you get behind me? Or noticed, when did you get behind me? That's the question.
Officer, you can answer that question. Please answer the question.
On the southbound frontage road.
Okay, when you say southbound frontage road, what's in the vicinity, in what vicinity of the southbound frontage road?
There would be a Home Depot and a U-Haul right there.
Home Depot? Okay. And you said it was a Home Depot. Where, so that ain't, okay, Justin, okay. When you got behind me, you were coming off of the, when I noticed you, because I was in my car, you were coming off of the Main Street. It's a question. You were coming off the Main Street exit. Where did you, while you were coming up, where did you see me? How many lanes was there that you seen me? I'm sorry, I take it back. Let me ask it again.
All right.
How many lanes were there that you tracked
what is your objection, Ms. Jordan?
Your Honor, I just want to make sure I'm understanding the etiquette for the Zoom. I'm saying objection to hope that she will pause so that I can put my objection on the record and not speak over her. Is that how you would like me to proceed?
Well, I think you need to let her ask the question and then you can make your objection. So if you
okay.
On the frontage road, how many lanes are there?
2.
2. And you said you witnessed me doing what?
I witnessed no violations on the frontage road.
Where did you witness me bobbing in and out of traffic?
I witnessed you fail to signal your lane changes on the highway, on the interstate.
Sir, the video, when I listened to the video, you stated that you followed me, you witnessed me bobbing and weaving in and out of traffic, starting from, if I'm not mistaken, we could go back from the right lane to the left lane to the far lane without turning on any signals.
Objection
Where?
is to compound question. Objection is to testimony. Objection is to argumentative.
Oh, so overruled. She laid a predicate. I'm going to let her ask the question. So the question is, where did you see her? On the highway, officer. She's asking on the highway, where did you see her?
Initially saw you on the highway in the far right lane and move all the way to the left lane.
Okay. And you do not have that on dash cam, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there a reason why you started recording after you witnessed all of this?
Well, the camera automatically begins recording after I turn my emergency lights on, and I did not manually start the video before that.
Okay, so that would that mean that you can be trusted that what you seen was actually true? Could you have made that up?
Objection is to a confusing question, Your Honor.
Well, I'll sustain. There were two questions there, and I'm going to direct Ms. Mason that you ask one question at a time. Please do that, okay?
Did you make that up?
No.
Okay. And you're testifying under oath that you seen me in the right lane on 35, bob in and out of traffic with no license, with no signal. You're saying you did that. You should witness that.
Could you please define what you mean by bobbing?
When you look at your dash cam, you said, I witnessed you bobbing and weaving in and out of traffic. That's what I mean. I'm going off of what you said.
At no point during my testimony did I use the word bobbing.
The video. We can go back and look at the video.
He never claimed you were weaving through traffic. He specifically testified that you changed lanes without using your turn signal. You may not be an attorney, but you certainly know how to keep talking without listening.
And so I'm asking you again, are you sure you've seen that? That's what you've seen, because this is a court of law and you're bound to tell the truth. Is this what you've seen?
Your Honor, we would ask.
Sustain, Ms. Mason. You've you've asked a question, made a statement, asked another question, made another statement. That you got to stop doing that. I'm not going to warn you. I'm not going to continue to warn you. Okay, I've done it a couple of times. Please ask one question. If you have an objection to the officer's response, then you tell me objection, just like the prosecutor's doing. Objection, and tell me what you're objecting to. But you've got to stop asking multiple questions, because we can't get through this testimony if you continue to ask multiple questions at one time. Okay. You can ask one question, then ask another question, then ask another question, but you got to get an answer after each question, please.
Yes, sir. I do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Apologize. I do apologize. With him, with the officer, he stated that he witnessed me doing that. Then I accepted. My next question would be, and I'm sorry, tell me, okay, so I'm done with that. I have another question, but it is to the license.
Please, yeah,
Am
please
I
ask your next question, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, that paper, the Texas Department of Public Safety paper, does that pull up on your, when you're driving, will you pull up somebody's information?
Not this paper.
It wouldn't pull up on
Not
the
this particular paper.
when you run a tag, someone's license plate, what normally pulls up?
That would be the information specific to the vehicle and the registered owner.
Okay. What was pulling up under the vehicle? What name?
I would have to go back and look at the license plate return. I don't have that access to that.
Okay. Did the information tell you if the license were suspended or whatever you need to come to your questioning of why you gave me the ticket? Let me re-put it. Would you, from looking at your dash cam, your information on your police phone or police information, what information pulls up about that driver?
Objection,
Nope.
Your Honor, as to overall relevance of what pulls up regarding a driver.
Well, I'm gonna allow it, but Ms. Mason, let's try to keep it on point. It's 11:07 and we need to move along. Okay, so let's try to keep it on point. I'm gonna overrule the objection and give you a little bit of leeway, but we gotta get moving on this.
Yes, sir.
So, officer, do you understand the question?
I believe the question is what information pulls up about the driver?
Yes, sir.
There is no information about the specific driver that returns on the registration.
Okay. My next question is, on the video, I gave you my ID, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You said that I had a driver's license also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You told me that in the state of Texas, a person could have two IDs, two valid IDs.
Objection is to mischaracterization of the evidence.
Sustained.
Can we go back and look at the video when he told me this? Okay.
We can. So this would be, I guess, is this state's exhibit number 3 that you're wanting to look at? Annabelle, can you bring that up? You're referring to the body camera, is that correct, Miss Mason?
Yes. He
All right, what
informed
section,
me that
where do you want that video to begin?
where he oh gosh, I don't have the video, I can't look at it, but it goes back to where he actually tells me that I was not showing. Hold on, because I don't have it. See, this is the things that I don't have.
Yes, ma'am, and you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have a
video.
copy of it. You would not have a copy of it because you're not allowed to get a copy of it.
Exactly. And that's the thing that happens when you can't afford an attorney. These are the things that, makes it injustice.
I understand that.
I apologize. But
where do you want the video to start, ma'am?
I want the video to start when he asked me for the second or third time for my ID, my driver's license, and I gave him my ID.
Start when he approaches the vehicle, please. So this would be exhibit number 3. And if you'll begin it as the officer approaches the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Is that where you'd like to start, Ms. Mason?
It's not the very first part, is when he's speaking with me and he's asking for my ID, and I'm providing my ID. My driver's license, my ID.
In Texas, a driver's license and a state ID are not the same thing. One legally authorizes you to operate a motor vehicle. The other simply verifies your identity by presenting only the state ID instead of your driver's license.
How you doing?
All right.
I'm Officer Edward Louisville Police Department. Reason for your stop, you didn't use your blinker one time on the highway. All those lane changes.
What do you mean all those lane changes, sir? I only made one lane change. I had just got on the highway from Justin Road.
You moved all the way to the left lane from the on-ramp.
So, okay.
All right, so that's 3 lane changes right there.
Okay, so I can dispute it, but...
Okay.
So what you need to do?
I need your driver's license and your insurance. The first time that I observed you use your turn signal was when you made this turn onto the cloverleaf right here.
Okay, and when did you
I'm
first?
not arguing with
I'm
you. I
asking
need
you a
your
question.
driver's
Though you
license
said
and
I
your
made
insurance.
you. Hold on, just a second. You said that I made 3. Hold on.
I need your driver's license.
Okay, I will give you that.
Okay.
Okay, you said that I made 3 illegal, 3 not turning on. Where did you first see me do that?
I need your driver's license, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm asking you a question, sir.
Okay.
You made an
No.
accusation. Yes,
Once
you
I
made.
get your driver's license, we can continue this discussion.
The reason I asked.
Are you refusing to provide your driver's license?
No, I'm asking you a question. Where did you first see me not turn on my blinker?
When you got on the highway.
When did I get on the highway? What exit?
I need your driver's license.
What exit, sir?
I need your driver's license.
Sir, I'm asking. So are you refusing to tell me? Are you refusing to tell me what exit that I got on the highway?
I need your driver's license
And
your
give
insurance.
you my license. I have no problem giving you my license. I'm asking you. Let me go live.
You can do whatever you want.
I know, but I'm
as long as
asking
you give me your driver's license and your proof of
I'm
insurance.
asking you again. What exit did you see me take? Get on the highway. What exit? I'm going live. Louisville police. He will not tell me.
10-4, we'll be at one of the pumps.
Louisville police will not.
Ma'am, give me your driver's license and your insurance, please.
Okay. There's that.
Do you have a driver's license?
That's my ID.
Do you have a driver's
That is
license?
my ID.
I can see it's an ID, ma'am. Do you have a driver's license?
I have an ID.
Okay, so
if I don't have an ID, driver's, you know I have an ID.
you can have both in Texas.
No, you cannot.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
you
can. cannot.
Yes,
no,
ma'am,
you
you
cannot.
Okay, you can stop there.
I need your
can
insurance,
stop
ma'am.
right
Don't stop the video there, Ms. Jordan. Don't take it down, but just stop it there, please.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is there a reason why you wouldn't accept my ID and kept asking me to provide a driver's license when I showed you the proper ID?
Your Honor, objection as
An
to
ID.
Your Honor, objection as to asking a legal question to a police officer and relevance as to presenting the wrong information to an officer. We're here for not presenting the driver's license.
Well, it was a compound question. I'll sustain your objection. Ms. Mason, again, you have multiple pieces in there. You had a question in there. If you'll just ask that question rather than add a bunch of other stuff to that question, it makes this process go a little bit easier. So would you please ask your question again?
Yes. Sir. When you ask for my ID, my license, I provided my ID, right?
Correct.
Is there a reason why you told me that I could have 2 valid IDs in the state of Texas?
Objection is the improper characterization of the evidence.
Sustained. Do you have another question, Ms. Mason?
Yes. Yes. Your Honor, may I ask you a question? Before I ask this, because I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to try to ask this as properly as I can because we're looking at it on the video of what he said. What was the reason you told me you could have 2 valid IDs for the state of Texas?
Objection is the improper characterization of evidence.
And I'll sustain that objection, Ms. Mason. I sustain the objection. I'm not going to explain why. Ms. Mason, please ask another question.
Okay. Is it true that you can have 2 state Texas IDs in the state of Texas?
Objection is to relevance and asking a legal question to a police officer.
That's not
I'm going to overrule the objection. I'm going to allow it. Ms. Officer, do you understand the question?
I'm not quite sure, sir.
Well, I'm not quite sure either, but Ms. Mason, please ask your question again.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask this question first. How long have you been in working in law enforcement?
Since 2003.
2003. Okay, I'll ask you again. Can you have two, as a police officer? Let me go back. When you stop somebody as a police officer, is it true you could tell that person a lie?
Yes, officers are legally allowed to use certain investigative tactics during an encounter. Whether you like that or not, the question you're asking has absolutely nothing to do with the traffic violations being decided in this case.
Objection, Your Honor, as to relevance to this
I'll
situation.
sustain the objection as relevance. Ms. Mason, let's move along.
Okay. You told me that I could have two, on the video, you said that I could have, in the state of Texas, you can have two IDs.
Objection is to improper characterization of evidence.
Ms. Mason, he did not say that. He said you can have a driver's license and identification card. He didn't even use those terms. That's what he was referring to. You keep confusing an ID with a driver's license. So let's clarify that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So can you ask a question that is relevant to this case?
To clarify the video, okay? Clarify. I'm going off of what is coming out of his mouth. Play that again so we can listen again to what he actually said. He was asking me before
you go back
play
45 seconds.
Yes, Your Honor.
He was asking me for my driver's license. I gave him a valid Texas
Objection is to
ID.
testimony, Your Honor.
Sustained. Miss Mason, we're gonna do what you asked. We're going back to listen to the video.
Okay.
There's that.
Do you have a driver's license?
That's my ID.
Do you have a driver's license?
My ID.
I can see it's an ID, ma'am. Do you have a driver's license?
I have an ID.
Okay, so
if I
let's
don't
stop
have
there.
an ID,
Ms. Mason, would you please proceed with your testimony or your cross-examination?
Okay. The ID I gave you was valid, right?
Objection is to relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Well, you know what, Your Honor, I see now I don't know the courts like you're going to. So what I'm going to do, I tell you what, my questions with him are answered. I have this video and I would like to obtain a copy of this video, and I'm done with the questions for him.
You're done with the questions for him?
Yeah, no more questions because I see I'm talking to the judge. I'm coming up as if I can come to the bench or if I can come ask you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not a professional, but I know my right.
Yes, ma'am.
I know my right.
Yeah.
And I know. I thought I was talking, but since you want to go ahead, I'm done. I'll get to mine because I have my stuff.
Yeah. All right, Ms. Mason.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to cross-examine the witness. Okay.
Okay.
And if you ask relevant questions, we might be able to move along in this trial. Okay. But the prosecutor has the right to object. She's made valid objections. I've sustained some of them. I've overruled some of them. I'm not trying to prevent you from asking questions, but we are here. It's 11:21. We're still okay. Are you done asking this officer questions?
Sir?
Yes.
I guess when she objects, I get to answer why I'm asking him this.
You can
right?
explain, you can explain the reason for your question. If
Okay.
you can respond to her objection. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The objection of why I'm responding to the objection. The reason I asked those questions is because that paper, the exhibit 1 or 2 that she showed that did not have the date on it, it's all going to correlate.
Yes, ma'am. However,
when I'm able to test, when I'm able to get the stand, that's why I'm asking him that, because that's where I'm going. So
all right.
I apologize if I'm doing it wrong.
If you will, okay, then if you will get kind of, let's move along, because we're going to be here till 5 o'clock. If we don't move along in this trial. Okay.
Yeah.
Please start asking some questions that we get to the point of this trial.
Okay. On it, that was Exhibit A, right?
Exhibit
With
1.
the
States
Texas
Exhibit 1.
Department of Exhibit 1. Okay, officer, on Exhibit 1, does it say on that piece of paper that I surrendered my license?
Yes.
Okay. What day does it say I did that? Or that the license were suspended, if that's one question.
Objection, Your Honor, as to improper characterization.
I'm going
Judge, that's
to
not
overrule
improper
the objection. I'm going to allow the question. Okay, Ms. Mason?
Okay.
Officer, if you can answer the question, please do. If you can't, then please tell her that you can't answer the question. You don't know.
Can you repeat the question, please, ma'am?
The question is, can you see, you're reading that Texas Department of Public Safety. Can you see that I voluntary surrender?
Yes, ma'am.
What date was that voluntary surrender?
I do not know.
If you look on the Texas Department of Public Safety, the original date issued was 9/29/2022.
What is your question, ma'am?
I'm sorry. The reason why I'm saying,
Ms. Mason, you don't need to tell me what your reasoning. I need you to ask a question and then ask another question and go from there. Okay. So just continue. This is the question point of the trial. Okay. You've muted yourself. Ms. Mason, you're on mute. There you go.
I don't know why it's muting. I'm not touching my phone. Do you see the driver's license and ID information?
Yes.
Do you see the ID number?
Yes.
What date was that originally issued?
9/29/2022.
Okay. So let's fast forward. The driver eligibility. What does that say?
Your Honor, objection is to relevance on these issues that do not involve her driver's license.
Well, I do have some questions on this, Ms. Jordan, so I'm going to allow it.
It says SR reinstatement fee required, DI reinstatement fee required.
Okay. When that fee required, do we know? Are you? And then that's okay. I'm done with the question. Done with that question. I want to go. You said back to your question is with the the lady, and I'm sorry, the prosecutor. You said she asked you. You looked at all of these.
You've muted yourself again. I'm not sure why.
I'm not doing that. My hands is not even touching my phone. I'm literally like just holding my phone.
That explanation doesn't make much sense. You insist you never touched your phone. but moments earlier you admitted you were holding it. The moving background on camera doesn't exactly help your argument either.
So I don't know. There might be something on your side. I don't know. But the attachments, you see those attachments? You were telling me, and I can't remember what you were calling them. But you said that it was consistent with what day?
Objection is to a confusing question, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay, I'll rephrase that. In your testimony to the prosecutor, she asked you, did you view the documents? Did you?
Yes, they're in front of me.
Okay. She also asked you if the driver's license and the documents that was dated a judge gave me that date. It 5/2/25, May of 2025, right?
Objection is to a confusing question, Your Honor.
Hey, I'll sustain that objection. I'm not sure, Ms. Mason, I'm really trying to follow you and I'm having a difficult time following your question. So let's try to, if you'll please ask a different question, okay?
Okay. The question that I'm asking is, you told me, officer, you said that I had a driver's license, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were telling me I needed to provide you the driver's license instead of my Texas ID, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This paper right here. And at the time, I know this should pull up somewhere in the database. So are you, when you asked for my ID or my driver's license, and I gave you my ID and I told you that I had to use my ID, are you stating this information that my license, the voluntary surrender, departments of DW, that did not pull up under my record when you ran my license plates and my information?
Objection is to a compound question. Objection is to confusing question. Objection is to testimony.
Well, I overruled as far as testimony, it was predicate to the question. And officer, if you can answer her question, I'll allow it. If you can't, then let her know that.
The voluntary surrender note does not show up on a driver's license or ID return.
So when I gave you my ID, you were questioning that it was false, or I just had two IDs?
Objection is to mischaracterization of this question, of this evidence.
I'm saying the wrong word. I'm sorry, Judge. I'm using the wrong word because I'm not.
You are, because Ms. Mason, there are specific documents we're talking about, and I think you're conflating. You're using words that are confusing. They're confusing me and they're confusing the officer. So you have to be more specific, or I'm going to continue to sustain her objections.
Okay, and I'm not trying to be. I'm learning as I go, so please bear with me. I'm going to ask him again,
Then
and these are
please
just
ask him
questions.
again.
Okay, the question I'm asking: when you ask me for my driver's license, I gave you my Texas ID. Am I okay so far, Judge?
What's your question, ma'am?
Okay, my ID. You stated I need to see your driver's license. Do you see where I'm going? I provided an ID. The question
Objection, Your Honor, as to making a statement and not answering a question.
Okay.
Sustained.
Okay. I ask him again. Sir, do you believe the license, the ID that I gave you was correct? What was valid?
Objection is to relevance, Your Honor. We're not here for ID.
Okay. The reason why, okay, I'm gonna ask him again. If I'm gonna ask you again. Are you able to buy a car with an ID and a driver's license?
Objection is to relevance, Your Honor.
What was your objection?
I'm getting to a point.
Relevance, Your Honor, to buying a car.
It's very relevant. to what I'm saying to him. And what
Ms.
is going
Please.
on is that everything is being objected because I'm not going to be able to get to him to tell the truth.
Tell the truth about what? Exactly. The video already shows that you didn't have your driver's license in your possession when the officer requested it during the stop. Your entire defense revolves around whether the officer correctly stated that you could possess both a Texas driver's license and a Texas identification card. Normally, that's not possible. However, there is one limited exception.
I'm going
Ms.
to ask
Mason,
again.
please ask your next question that's relevant to what we're here for today.
What's relevant is document 3, the video. Is that relevant? That's relevant, right?
Ms. Mason, ask your question.
My question is, the ID I gave you, is it a valid ID?
Objection as to any questions regarding the ID as relevant, irrelevant.
I will sustain the question. I will sustain the objection to the question that was asked.
Okay. Protected. Okay. My next question is, were you racially profiling me?
Objection, Your Honor. That's just hostile, and there's no evidence that has been presented
No.
to this court for that.
Yes,
I'm going to overrule the objection, and officer, you can answer the question I'll let you answer the question.
Objection then as to a confusing question as to what she means by racial profiling.
I'll sustain that objection.
What that mean? I don't know what that means. So I got to ask another question.
Ms. Mason, that's the problem with the question. You're asking him to answer a question that may have a different meaning to you as to him as to me. That's okay. Do you have another question?
Yes, my question I'm going to ask again.
No, don't tell me why. Don't tell me why you're going to ask it. Just
I'm
ask.
going to ask the question. Okay, I'm going to ask you the question again. It is a valid question. Can you have a car with an ID and a driver's license?
Objection as to relevance and speculation to some situation.
Sustained.
Okay. Can you have mistaken me for the wrong person or the wrong car?
No.
Okay. No more questions.
Ms. Jordan, any redirect?
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Edge, what's been labeled as State's Exhibit number 1, does it appear that the defendant had a driver's license that was issued on January 20th of 2018, and the date of expiration is listed as 12/31/2023?
Yes.
The date that you pulled the defendant over, can you provide that date to the court?
November 21st, 2023.
Does that fall in between those two dates?
Yes, it does.
In between those two dates, was there any information in the return that you received that she had an invalid driver's license, that it was not valid, that it had been suspended?
No.
So the only information that you had was that she had a valid driver's license, and that valid driver's license expired December 31st of 2023. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did Miss Mason, according to what you saw on that day, decide to drive her car on November 21st of 2023?
Yes.
And was she driving her car with a valid driver's license according to DPS?
Yes.
And when you drive a car with a valid driver's license, are you supposed to be able to provide that valid driver's license to DPS to an officer when an officer requests it?
Yes.
Would it have been appropriate for you to write her a citation for driving without a license when you had information that in fact she did have a license?
Yes, that would have been an inappropriate charge.
I'm switching over to the other charge. When we reviewed the video for her question regarding her driver's license, do you remember what you first said to the defendant when you first approached her vehicle about the lane change? Or would you like me to refresh your memory?
I believe I told her that,
Objection.
What is your objection?
Objection. She's saying the same thing I was asking. She's asking in a different way. It's speculation. He do not have the full body cam nor dash cam video. He only has when he pulled me over. That is not relevant evidence. That is going off of he say, she say.
In situations like this, it's simply one sworn statement against another. The court considers that testimony under oath, so the objection is overruled.
No further questions for this redirect, Your Honor.
Okay. With trepidation, I'm going to ask you, Ms. Mason, if you have further questions for the witness.
Yes.
Well, what are those questions,
Okay.
ma'am?
I have only one question.
Okay.
For the lane change, you swear you're telling the truth under oath. That's all I have. That's the only question.
yes.
Okay. No more questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Officer, you may step down if you please remain available for further testimony.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Jordan, call your next witness.
State rest, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Ms. Mason, the state has rested its side of the case. That means their evidence that they're going to present, their primary case in chief is finished, and she's passing the case to you. Okay. This is your opportunity to call witnesses, present evidence, offer evidence, and testify yourself if you'd like to. Now, you are not required to testify. Nobody can force you to testify. And even if everyone on this call wanted to hear what you had to say, if you want to remain silent, the law protects you and gives you the right to remain silent. If you choose to give your side of the story, and to testify, then once you finish, you will be subject to cross-examination. That means the prosecutor can ask you questions about this case or the two cases that are pending, because we have two that we're here for today. And if you're asked a question or questions that are relevant to the matters that are pending before the court today, you're going to be required to answer that question or those questions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Are you wanting to offer testimony today?
Yes.
All right. Then please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony that you give the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Now, would you please state your full name for the record?
Barbara Faye Mason.
All right. Ms. Mason, would you please tell me what you want me to know, and let's try to keep it relevant to the day that we're talking about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You may proceed.
Okay. The day that this officer pulled me over, I was not in Louisville. I was nowhere in Louisville, nor was I on Main Street. I was in Justin, off Justin Road at Katie's Nail Salon. I came down Valley View Road, and I was on the frontage road. I was headed back to my hometown in Carrollton. I needed gas, so I was on the frontage road, Main Street frontage road. It has two lanes, so you cannot bob and weave. When you get up to the frontage road towards Main Street, there's an exit to get on the highway. I got on the highway. The one thing I can say I did, I was kind of contemplating if I should go on up to Main Street to that Exxon and get some gas. I think that's an Exxon. Or go down to Corporate Road where I used to live and get that gas at that stop because it was cheaper. I was headed down Frontage Road. It was about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. It might have been a little bit later. I'm not for sure, 12-1. I hit the frontage road. I hit the exit because I said I'm going to go off of Corporate because that gas is cheaper. As soon as and I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with Louisville, On Louisville's Main Street frontage road, 35 frontage road, there's only 2 lanes. It goes down, and then when you get close to Main Street and the lights, you can get on the highway that way.
You can't be serious. First, you insisted you were nowhere near Louisville. Then, moments later, you described driving through Louisville for several exits.
That's where I got onto the highway. When I come off the highway to get to corporate, that's when officer was coming off of Main Street down where the light was, Main Street. He come down that ramp, and that's when he got behind me. I have no idea where he got. I was bobbing and weaving in traffic. I wasn't coming from Denton, Texas. I just came from Justin, and you can't get on the highway right there. You have to stay on the frontage road. So, and there was no traffic on the frontage road. So I don't know where that's coming from. When he got behind me, I noticed him behind me. I looked in my rearview mirror. I said, okay. I exit, and I kind of slowed down. If you go back and look at the picture when he got the cove, you will see me stop, because I wanted to figure out, is he following me? As I exit the cove, I got to the light, because where I lived off Southwest Parkway, that's where he pulled me over. That's the address he's using on the ticket that he showed he was following me from. That's where he's using the address of all of this stuff that he said he followed, that he got from me. And you seen the video. I asked, if you go to the end of that video of his body cam, listen to all of it, unless they cut it off, you will specifically hear him say, Barbara Troop, you have until December the 31st to go pay that fine and get your license back. He told me that. I didn't even know that. I surrendered my license because Texas Department of Public Safety, when I moved to Addison, I misplaced my license. I moved to Addison in 2022. I misplaced my license. When I went back up to Texas Department of Public Safety to get my license, I was told then that I needed a birth certificate, because I guess because of the change of everything. I said, okay. When I got my birth certificate, had to wait a month, went back up to Texas Department of Public Safety to just get a copy of my driver's license. Not one time I told my license were suspended, no letters or nothing. The Garland office, right when I was getting ready to get it showed her all the proof. She looked up the system and
Objection
she
is
said,
to hearsay.
no.
What was your objection, ma'am?
Hearsay, Your Honor, as to what someone said that's not here.
I will sustain the objection as hearsay. So Ms. Mason, Ms. Mason, hold on just to explain that. What someone said that is not here in court is hearsay, and I'm going to sustain the objection unless there's an exception you can identify. So I'll sustain that objection.
Okay. What do you the objection is, I know what I did. And I'm not only do I know what I did, I'm going to tell you about that letter.
Ms. Mason, you can tell me what you did and what you said, but you started to tell me what someone else said, and that's what she objected to.
Okay. Texas Department of Public Safety. That's where you get your license, sir. That's where you get your license and ID. I was unable to get my ID. You see that letter? The letter display A1? That's
Are you referring
what
to Safety Exhibit 1? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, just the letter. Just the letter. Only.
Oh.
I got that letter that day. That letter had just been made 2 days prior to when I got to the Texas Department of Public Safety to get my license. That registration is not from me driving. That fine is not from me driving. It's something that Texas stopped doing over 12 years ago. And Texas Department of Public Safety came back and put that on my record on 9/22/2022. Whatever that day say. They told I was forced. Look at the paper. This is not hearsay. Look at that paper. I was forced to surrender my license behind something 12 years old that was just drummed up the day that I went to go get a copy of my license.
This has already been explained. She failed to satisfy the SR-22 requirement, which resulted in her surrendering the physical driver's license to avoid an automatic suspension of her driving privileges.
That's why I'm calling that paper fraudulent, because it doesn't have the date on there. And if it doesn't have the date on there, anybody could have done it. I seen the date. And so when you get your license suspended, or when you voluntarily suspend your license, they give you an ID. My license still might have been valid, but because I could not pay the $255 12-year-old registration fine,
Okay.
I had to give my ID.
Ms.
That's
Moore.
why he got the ID.
Ms. Moore, I'm going to stop you here for a minute. You're making an argument about why you don't have a driver's license. I'm not interested in that. What I need to know is I want you to talk about that day, not what happened. You've given all this background, and that's not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about.
I'm concerned about it, sir, because it's my due process and it's happening to me.
But it doesn't have anything. Perhaps it does, but it has nothing to do with this. This has nothing to do with this trial.
Respectfully, it has everything to do with this trial because it's called manipulation, and it's getting and they're getting away with it. But that's okay. I'm still going to argue my point, whether I win or not. But at least I have backup and videos of defamation when I get it. So I'm going to go back to what I'm saying now.
Ms. Mason, let me stop you here for a minute. Okay. I'm going to ask you to keep your testimony to what is relevant today. The two issues are, did you fail to present a driver's license? That's one issue. And the other one is, did you fail to signal a lane change or a turn? Those are the two issues today. There may be a lot of other issues that are relevant to you. There may be a lot of other issues that are relevant to you as to why or why not you had a driver's license. But for purposes of this trial, I'm not concerned about whether or not your driver's license was suspended or whether it was invalid. The issue is, did you present a driver's license to the officer on the day that he requested it? That's a very limited question. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for today.
And I'm here standing up saying that officer is lying. I'm also in this court right here standing up saying that I have been manipulated by Ken Paxton and Texas Department of Public Safety. I'm also saying—
Objection, Your Honor, as to relevance, argumentative.
Sustained. Ms. Mason, it's not, that may or may not be true. I don't know. It's not relevant to whether or not you presented a driver's license on the day that this case allegedly occurred.
It's relevant to why I was profiled, pulled over, based off a lie, and then received that ticket. It has everything, Judge, to do with it. It's called retaliation and law enforcement tactics. Okay, you don't have to believe me, but you're refusing my receipts of my innocence. He's only saying this on paper. And when I rebuke what he's saying on his body cam, you're telling me I can't do that. So how am I to justify and prove myself right?
Ms. Mason, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the issue is very simple. The issue, and I'm asking that you limit your testimony to the two issues at trial today. There may be multiple other issues that are relevant and important to you, and I know there are. But what is important for this trial is very simple. On the day that you were stopped, did the officer ask you for a valid for a driver's license, and did you display that driver's license that day? That's one issue. The other issue is, did you fail to signal a turn on that day? Those are the two issues that this court has any authority to deal with. Whether or not there was
okay. I understand Denton County. I understand
I'm not Denton County. I'm not Denton
yes,
County.
it is Denton County. I'm trying to talk. I understand, sir, respectfully. Respectfully. This has been ongoing, and I'm okay. What I'm saying is the illegal lane change. I just explained to you and gave you information of where I was coming from.
Yes, ma'am.
It's his word. It's his word against mine. But what I do know, he would not provide the full dash cam video from where he followed me for. So I don't have no defense based off of his lie.
Sustain.
Not arguing.
Yeah, well, no,
I'm not arguing.
Yes, ma'am, you are. So do you have the testimony that you want to present? Not argument, but facts. Facts about what happened.
Not guilty. The facts are that display that they gave you is fraud. It don't have the right information. Not only that, you added to it. That's my defense. It's fraud. It's a lie and it's a fraud. Now, with that being said, I've given you my thing. I cannot fight injustice. So with that, I'm done. I can't fight injustice. The thing is, his word against mine. He has not shown any evidence that he watched me bob and weave out of traffic. No, you can say whatever. And yes, you have upset me, and that was the plan anyway. I'm just trying to make it a good day for me. I have stated what I needed to state it, and he has lied under oath.
Okay, Ms. Mason.
Under oath.
I have been respectful to you. I have been patient. I've tried to give you an opportunity to ask relevant questions, but we're at this point. You've given me lots of argument, but you haven't given me any more facts. And so unless you have additional facts you want to offer, your testimony needs to conclude.
I'm giving you facts. You're rejecting those facts.
Relevant
that's it,
facts.
Judge. So let's do what. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
No,
Y'all
ma'am.
do what
No, we're
I'm
not.
going to do.
No, you're not going to tell me.
I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen.
Ms. Mason,
do what
please
you
stop.
have to do, but John.
Okay.
I'm not paying you. It's a lie and it's fraud, and I'm not paying you. And with all due respect, Judge, Louisville, Denton County, y'all do what you have to do. God don't like ugly. Do what you got to do. So what's the end part?
Are you finished with your testimony, Ms. Mason?
I've been found guilty, Judge, and I have been served, Judge, by you guys. Do what you have to do. You refuse to hear my facts, and you're going off of just what he has on that paper.
Objection, argumentative.
I did not.
Ms. Mason. Ms.
Go
Mason.
ahead, sir. Let's just get it over with, sir. I know I'm a truthful person. I'm an outstanding person. Do what you got to do, Denton County.
Okay.
And yes, I'm live.
Pardon me?
I said, and yes, I'm live. I'm doing this live because I need to report everything that's going on. This is unjust, and I know it is.
Ms. Mason, you have not offered any additional testimony as to any relevant testimony as to the issues that are pending before the court today. Do you have anything else that you have not offered? Do you have any other testimony that you have not already given that you want to tell me?
My testimony is relevant and truths versus his lie. And so with that being said, Judge, Denton County, do your thing.
Okay. Do you have any other testimony that you have not already given that you want to tell me? My testimony is relevant and truths versus his lie. And so with that being said, Judge, Denton County, do your thing. I'm going to take that as you're finished with your testimony. Miss Jordan, do you want to cross-examine the witness?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
For a second, I thought someone had actually said what I was thinking. Turns out it was another officer in an entirely different case enjoying the situation just as much as everyone else.
All right. Officer Edge, who else is on this video? Officer L.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that was me.
Officer L, you need to please leave the video. Thank you.
And I have one question before we go. You said that he didn't have a dash cam video of when he started following me.
Nope.
He only turned it on after he was going to pull me over, right?
Ms. Mason, just a moment.
Okay.
Hold on just a moment. You said that you're finished, and now we're not going to continue.
I'm finished. I recorded it. I can go back.
Very good. Ms. Jordan, you say you do not have any questions. Is that correct?
That's correct. Not for this witness.
All right. And you rest your case?
Yes.
And you close your evidence?
Yes.
And Ms. Mason, do you close your evidence?
Done, sir.
Is that a yes or no, Ms. Mason?
Done, sir. I'm done, sir. I'm done.
Very good. I'm going to take your statement that you're done as you're closing your evidence.
What I'm doing is
argument, Ms. Jordan?
Closing this trial.
Ms. Mason, please don't talk over me.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Mason, do you have a closing argument you would like to make?
Yes, I do.
Now's the time to make it.
Okay. Everything that has happened in this court today was an orchestrated manipulation.
Improper closing.
By
Your Honor.
him.
Objection.
We're not going to do that.
I thought this is my
No,
argument.
ma'am, you're not going to impugn the court. I'm not going to allow you.
I'm not
Absolutely,
impugned the
you're
court.
doing that.
I'm
I'm gonna
talking about a specific, okay,
No, ma'am.
lies. If I provided just as the officer got up there and told his story and did not provide you actual ID footage of him watching me bobbing and weaving. He only provided you when he got behind me and pulled me over. That is not evidence that he said he seen me do. I provided you evidence. I provided you with my statement where I came from, how I was on the frontage road that does not have 4 lanes where you can bob and weave. I provided you when I got on the frontage road, service road, to get on the highway, but never changed lanes because he got behind
Objection
me.
is the improper closing.
No. I told you
allow
that
Ms.
he
Jordan.
got behind me, and that's when he turned on his dash cam. That is not proof that he watched me do something. That's false information. As far as the driver's license go, you're telling me that yes, she had a valid driver's license, but she didn't provide it. All the while, that form, Exhibit 1A, lets you know that I had surrendered my valid ID and got a Texas ID. It's on his persons. The video will show that, but y'all fast forward to that. That's why I want a copy of it. Showed him the valid Texas ID. That paper Exhibit 1 lets you know exactly that at the time I had a valid Texas ID. And it also lets you know that he's lying. Because if you look at that paper, it'll tell you when it was the the suspension or when I surrendered my license due to the non-payment of $250. It's fraud. And that Exhibit 1 is fraud because the date of that letter that they supposedly sent out to me was never sent. And now it's being used.
Objection is to improper closing.
To criminalize me.
Sustained. Are you finished, Ms. Mason?
I'm standing on what I say. Yes, sir.
She made her final attempt to convince the court. Now the judge is ready to announce the decision.
Very good. So when we began this trial, I advised you that the document that the state is required to file and prove in this case is the complaint, and the complaint alleges specific things. So with respect to the fail to signal a turn, the officer was required to, or the state, pardon me, not the officer, but the state was required to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are operating a motor vehicle in a public place, specifically the 1300 block South Interstate 35E southbound, that you failed to use a hands or arm signal or approved lighting signal lamps. Now that's what the officer had to, that's what the state had to prove. Your testimony did not address that. I think, and I would agree with you that the testimony from the officer was a bit confusing. However, there was you did not testify and address that issue. And that's what I was waiting for you to hear. Ms. Mason, that it's not your time to respond. I'm telling you.
Respond.
All right. I did not hear you address that issue. And because of that, that is the testimony that stands. And I'm going to find you guilty of the offense of fail to signal turn. Now, on the second case of failing to display a driver's license, at no time in any of this process did you display a driver's license. State law requires that if you're operating a vehicle and an officer asks you for a driver's license, that you present that driver's license. And at no time did you do that. You presented a valid, or you presented a document that purported to be an identification card. That's all you did. And so you did not comply with the requirement that you present a valid Texas driver. Actually, it's not even valid driver's license. It's a driver's license when an officer asks you for it. You did not do that. And that's a violation. That's a violation of the transportation code. And therefore, I'm going to find you guilty of that case. Now, I'm going to assess a fine of $200 plus court costs on both cases. You have the right, and that fine and court costs will be due on or before the
You can lock me up. I have no job. Y'all know that.
5th of September, 2025.
Okay.
If you're not able to pay the fine and court costs, please, by that date, please come back and let me know that. And I'm willing to work with you on some alternative, including community service. I'm also advising you on the record that you have the right to appeal my decision. If you would like to appeal, I would encourage you to contact the court. We have some information about the process of an appeal, but it is by no means a substitute for talking with a lawyer and getting legal counsel. It is a brief overview, and you should not rely on what we give you as the only source to determine whether or not you want to appeal. If you choose not to appeal, and there are several rules that require you to act fairly quickly if you're going to perfect your appeal. If you fail to appeal, then the fine and court costs will be due on or before the 5th of September. Once again, I'll tell you the second time, if you're not able to pay the fine and court costs, I'm willing to work with you on some alternative, but you have to contact the court and we'll go through that process to figure out whether or not you qualify for community service or even a waiver if you qualify. Do you understand what I've just told you?
I hear you. Thank you.
All right. The clerk will send you a copy of the judgment. And once that judgment, the judgment we signed today, and then the appellate timetable begins today. So if you're going to appeal, Ms. Mason, please act accordingly, and please make sure you take it. You begin your appellate process soon. Okay?
Have a good day. Thank you.
That wraps up today's incredibly long hearing. If you stayed all the way to the end, thanks for watching. I appreciate you sticking around. If you enjoyed the breakdown, be sure to leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If it wasn't for you, feel free to leave a dislike. And if you want more courtroom cases like this, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload.